Hey guys, Scott here, and today I want to talk about the whole splitting the matchmaking into like a casual and a ranked matchmaking thing. This is something that it's one of the most common suggestions to address the whole balancing and MMR issues. That it's one of the most common suggestions that you probably see, and I want to go over two main reasons why I don't think it'd be a good idea. One of them is a lot more subtle, and I think that is actually probably the bigger problem. But let's go over the obvious ones first. First one, people usually bring up queue times. Now, I used to be on the boat. That's funny because in the B-roll there's a boat. I used to be on the boat that if you had multiple separate queues, you would have longer queue times. But I thought about it even more, and I don't necessarily think that's really true because it depends on the amount of people that play the ranked mode. And also, the queues in this game are long for Survivor because there are too many survivors and not enough killers. Not because there's not enough players. In fact, there are too many of one type of player. The queues are bad because of imbalance in the roles. So it would really come down to which sides preferred playing on the ranked mode more, and if a disproportionate amount of them left. Like if for some reason a lot more survivors went to the ranked mode, then the casual mode survivor queues would actually get better, but then the ranked mode queues would be way worse. So it could make both queues worse, but I think it would only make one queue worse. Either way, it would probably extend the actual time that you're waiting for a match, which could be annoying. But that, it's kind of hard to tell. So let's go over the two main reasons. And the first one is that there is no incentive to play in a ranked mode. If you add a ranked mode like that, you say, well, okay, all the sweaty people will just go play in that mode. And while it's true, a lot of them probably will, you have to understand that there's no reason for them to do so. There's no trophy you get. There's no leaderboard. There's no visible MMR. There's none of this stuff. There is no actual reason to play in a ranked mode other than you just want to have sweatier games, and that's it. And some people want that, but the amount of people that really actually want distress and sweat over every single game is a fraction of the community. And so if they add a ranked mode with no incentives, no one's going to play it because there's no reason to do so. In fact, most people that like playing in 4-mans are just going to play in casual mode. And in fact, it's now an even easier form of deranking because now there's a whole casual mode where it doesn't even matter. They can just bully whoever they want at any time. They don't even have to derank anymore. So nothing is stopping these sweaty teams or even sweaty killers from playing in the casual mode and just beating the shit out of the other side. Nothing is stopping that. So, I mean, this happens in a lot of modes, or a lot of games that have separate modes. You will get Smurf squads that'll essentially just go to the other mode and just bully them for free. The only thing that kind of stops that now is there's a very loose rank matchmaking, so you can't go bully rank 20s and shit like that. But if there was a casual system that had, a more lax matchmaking, then yeah, you would probably see a lot more of these bully squads going in to just destroy people in the casual mode because there's just no reason for them to play in the ranked mode. They just have not added any incentives to do so other than wanting much harder games or being stressed out. See, the thing is, like, I think every once in a while, a very high level competitive game is actually really fun. I think going against a super sweaty team when I know what I'm getting into, like if I pick a Spirit, I know I'm going to go against like a tournament squad, that can actually be fun. Every once in a while. But the thing is, in addition to it being fun, it's stressful. It is actually physically stressful to the point where my body is sweating and my heart rate increases and all that stuff. And that's okay. That's cool and all. And every once in a while, that's actually a fun adrenaline rush feeling. But if that's all of your games, maybe because I'm getting old or something, I promise though, you will get burnt out very fast. I don't think sweaty teams realize that if they also go against only sweaty teams, everyone is going to get burned the fuck out really quickly. The only reason they don't right now is because they don't only go against sweaty teams. They just queue in just a random match and they just have pretty laid back matches because they're doing something very, very strong, whether it being, bringing a super stacked Spirit or Nurse or bringing their 4-man and just trying to destroy the other team. Every once in a while they might actually get some competition, but they're not actually getting it. So really a lot of the time they're just having fun. But I think people really underestimate the amount of stress that goes into a very high level, like close match, because it is stressful. Like, and I don't even like hate that feeling. Like, I've been in tournaments before, for like Dark Souls and For Honor and stuff like that. And yeah, like I had this stressful feeling in the pit of my stomach, but it was also kind of like an adrenaline, like, cool feeling. And if you've ever been in a tournament, it's like you get that feeling. But the thing is, though, enduring that stress is worth it, because in a tournament, there's a reward. At the end of the day, you can get, prestige for winning the tournament. You can get literally money for winning the tournament, your trophy, there's a tangible reward for like winning a tournament, even, however big or however small. There's some reason to do it. There's no reason to do it in this game. Now, if they were to add a ranked mode with, leaderboards and trophies, and they just went back on their words and said that they would make MMR visible and stuff like that, well, then you'd have bragging rights, and that's different. So there would actually be more of an incentive to play that mode, and you would get less people smurfing in casual mode and stuff like that, because they'd actually want to try to achieve that. But as the game is right now, it would make no sense, because there's just no reason to do it. And I think that's the first major reason, lack of incentive. Two, and I think this is a more subtle but even bigger problem, and it's a community problem, actually. If you have two separate game modes, there will be a war. There will absolutely be a war, and it's going to be extremely obnoxious. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, think about how many times have you seen someone belittle someone else's opinion because they don't play in a certain way, or they are not a certain rank, or they don't have a certain amount of hours in the game? And these are all really dumb reasons, like, ignoring someone's opinion because they're not a rank 1. Everyone knows that's just a stupid fucking thing to do. Now imagine if there was an actual kind of legitimate reason to separate these people. Well, your opinion doesn't matter because you only play in casual. I only play in ranked, so I understand the game way more than you do. You can see how much shit that's going to start. It's going to start a war between the two separate communities. People that play in the ranked mode are going to start bitching to people that play in the unranked casual mode, and they're going to say, well, you don't understand, like, you can't speak about balance. You don't know what this game is played like at a high level. And then the people that play in the casual mode, which are going to be the vast majority, are going to say, what are you talking about? This game is not an esport. Stop trying to make it a fucking esport. You're going to ruin the game for the rest of us. And then it's just people are going to sling shit back and forth. Content creators are going to be on both sides. There's going to be a war with them too. Some people are going to play in the competitive mode. They're going to be snarky and judge people that play in the casual mode that just want to have fun. And there is just... that's the thing I'm worried about the most. I am 100% positive that this will happen if there are two separate game modes. People will absolutely start slinging shit at the other side. If you don't play my mode, if you don't play casual, then you're a stupid tryhard. You think this game is way too sweaty and serious. What are you doing? It's a silly game. And if you play in, ranked mode, and then you're going to shit on people with the casual opinion because, they don't understand how the game is played at the highest level. It's just going to be so much shit. I think the community will get fucking destroyed by this. I really, really think that would happen. And I think that's the main thing I'm scared of. The other reasons, yeah, sure, they make sense, but I'm the most scared of the community effect of splitting between two separate queues. So that is, I guess, the main message I wanted to send. I still think the whole MMR thing can work if they eventually balance the game, but just because that we see that maybe stats will change, like, I want to address, like, actually something else about the whole MMR system as a tail end to this. For some reason, people think that, the MMR system might work because eventually it will change the kill rates and stuff like that. So it'll change the kill rates, and then everyone will say, well, hey, look, this thing is obviously too weak now. Look, the data has changed. But ideally, not ideally. What would happen if the system worked is that won't happen. Because if the MMR system works, everyone will have a 50% win/loss rate. That's how a perfect MMR system works. It tries to get you to, exactly 50% by giving you harder matches when you do better and giving you easier matches when you do worse. That's just how MMR systems work. So if everyone's stats are 50% because the system works, which I still don't think it will, then the devs will go, well, all right, we did a good job. Look, everything is balanced. Not realizing it's not the balance of the game they're talking about. It's the matchmaking, adjusting games in such a way that it ends up being 50-50. So I don't know why people think that the devs are going to look at these changes and say, oh, look, the stats are different. I'm going to just change the entire game now. It's not going to happen. And even if like they look at the tail end, like, hey, at the very highest level, only 2 killers are winning. This is a problem. It's not a problem, though. They're not going to change that because they don't balance around that top 1%. So they're going to look at that. They're going to go, huh, yeah, you know what? Cloud can't win against tournament squads. Oh, well. And they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. Like, I don't know why people think that MMR is going to work because the devs are not going to change their whole outlook on life suddenly. It's just going to get balanced to around an average of 50%. And they're going to, okay, all right, we did our job. And that's it. So I definitely don't understand that part, but it all ties together with the whole suggestions of, separate game modes and things like that. And I just wanted to go over why I thought those were not, that's not a good solution to the problem that we currently have. But that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.